Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Give honors to the elders and apostles for their edification and knowledge. Call Halayayim Yah Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Give all praise again to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. I'm going to go to Isaiah 30, 31. This is a warning. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto thee. So this relates to trusting Egypt, man, making that alliance with Egypt, because they went down to trust in Egypt instead of trusting in the Lord. Pretty much, they rejected the Lord because they missed Egypt, man. They missed the ways of Egypt, man. Fast forward, that same spirit is in the people now. That walk and go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth for permission to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust the shadow of Egypt. The shadow's here momentarily and is gone, you know. So they trust in the Pharaoh, which one is the one in power, man. You know, they look into Pharaoh more than they look into the Lord, man. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. Since they trusted in Pharaoh, the powers of Pharaoh, it's going to be the Israelite shame, man. The continuation even all the way to today. The trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion, man. So, because we have many wicked men. First the Maccabees. Let me get First the Maccabees real quick. First the Maccabees 1. First the Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, because they persuaded many to follow after them, man, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about. So that covenant is that alliance, man, they're going to make with the heathen, man, specifically the ones in power. For since we departed, then we had much sorrow, and that's the consequence, much sorrow, man, because they supposed now went down to Egypt to trust, man. So that sorrow is part of that sorrow is going to be their shame, that shame and confusion for trusting in Egypt, man, for trusting in deceit and lies, man. I'm going to go back to where I was reading. And his priests were of Zoan, and his ambassadors came to Hades. They were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them, not being help nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach. And that's ultimately what's going to happen, man. For they, was a verse over in 31, Isaiah 31, talking about relating to, they are strong, but they're not of, but they are flesh, and pretty much they are flesh, so their powers are limited. I will get it. The burden and the beasts of the south, in the land, in the anguish, from whence come the young and old lion, viper, fiery flying serpents that will carry their riches upon the shoulders of asses, of young asses, and their treasures upon the bunches of camels, to a people that shall not profit them. So pretty much all their possessions they're going to take to ultimately try to trust in Egypt. For the Egyptians shall help in vain and to no purpose. There have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still. We'll finish on reading. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note in the book that it may be for a time to come, forever and ever, that this rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, this relates to the Israelites, which say to the seers, which are the prophets, see not, and to the prophets, prophesies not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesies deceits. So the Israelites didn't want to hear that they had to go back and hearken to heed into the laws. They want to hear things contrary to that. They want to hear these smooth things, man. And they reject these things. They reject what they're supposed to do, man, because they hate it. Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise the word and trust in oppression. That's why our people, they trust in oppression, man. Even all the way, each kingdom, each captivity, they trust in oppression. They miss Egypt. They love Egypt. They don't even realize they are in oppression, man. They're that blinded. So they trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. Therefore, this iniquity shall be into you as a breach. A breach is pretty much something that's been compromised, ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking coming suddenly in an instant. So they've been compromised. So it's gonna break, and it's gonna come instantly and unexpectedly. And ye shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken in pieces. Ye shall not spare. So there shall not be found in the bursting of a shard to take fire from the hearth, or to take water withal the pit. The 31, a few verses 31. Woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because there are many, and the horsemen because they are very, very strong. But they look not into the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord, man. So they trust in Egypt again. Ye that also is wise will bring evil and will not call back his word, but will arise against the house of the evildoer and against the help of them that work iniquity. That's the race to the wicked and the ones trusting of it. So join hand in hand. Thou shalt not join hand in hand. Shall not go unpunished, man. And that's 2/3. The majority of the wicked of our people joining hand in hand with the enemy. So they're gonna receive the punishment. Micah 2:10. Arise ye, depart, for this is not a place of your rest. It shall destroy you with a sword destruction, man. So the reason why is because if you stay and partake relating to being a part of that, you're gonna receive the destruction. So you had to separate, begin to separate. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. So they're powerful and strong, but they're not of spirit, man. They're carnal. And when the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and there all shall fall together. For thus have the Lord spoken to me, like as a lion, a young lion roaring on his prey, when a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, and he will not be afraid of their voice, not abase himself, but for the noise of them. So shall the Lord of hosts, which is an army, come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof. And the birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem, defend it also. He will deliver it, and pass it over, he will preserve it. Turn ye unto him from whom the children of Israel have deeply revolted. So these rebellion Israelites, man, trusting in Egypt. For in the day every man shall cast away his idols of silver, idols of gold, which in their own hands have made you for a sin. That relates to idolatry, man. And that goes back to sorcery and witchcraft. For the Israelites are going to be scattered all four corners of the earth, worshiping other gods, even wood and stone, man. So that's what they've been doing. That's why that's the majority of the reason why they're in the state and condition as they are, man. Then shall the Assyrian fall with the sword, not of a mighty man, and the sword not of a mean man shall devour him. But he shall flee from the sword, and his young man shall be discomfited. And he shall pass over to his stronghold for fear, and his princes shall be afraid of the ensign which is a sign, saith the Lord, whose fire is in Zion, and the furnace of Jerusalem. That represents pretty much the nation of Israel, man. So this relates to pretty much a warning for making that a covenant or alliance with the Egyptians, man. I want to go to Jeremiah 10:1. Jeremiah 10:1. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh spake unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen, man. Learn not the ways of the heathen, man. Learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of the heavens. Be not dismayed, for the heathen is going to be dismayed, and learn and not be of the ways of the heathen. I'll read it again. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, man. They're going to be dismayed at them from the heavens. A good example of that when the chariots come back. So they're going to be dismayed from that when they see that, the heathens, and 2/3 of Israel as well. The scripture talks about, let me see. Revelations, Revelations 1:7, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. That spirit of that 2/3 of the wicked Israelites is back now. So when they see the chariots in Yahushua, even the ones that pierced them, because they're back in this regeneration. The regeneration is pretty much bringing back forth. Behold, he cometh with the clouds, and every eye shall see him all over the world. And they also which pierced him, which are 2/3 of the wicked. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So they're all going to see, and they're going to be, as they see, they're going to be mourning, they're going to be in awe, they're also going to be in fear. Let's go to Amos 5:16. Amos 5:16. Therefore the Lord, the God of hosts, the Lord Yahweh saith, wailing shall be in the streets, and they shall say in all the highways, Alas, alas, that shall call the husbandmen to mourning, and such as are skillful in lamentation. This relates to there's going to be a lot of death and destruction. You know what I mean? This is not going to be a day of light, but a day of dark, man. A day of mourning, a day of wailing, a day of gnashing of teeth. Read 18 and go that. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, for what end it is for you. For the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So it's not going to be a very good day that day. There's going to be a lot of wailing, gnashing of the teeth, a lot of pain, a lot of signs, a lot of pretty much death and destruction, man, that day. Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, alas, never a time has never been such as Jacob's trouble, pretty much. So Jacob's trouble, we in the precursors of that. Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which is pretty much judgment, man. Which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us, man. So they think nothing's going to happen, man. They had that spirit like everything is going to continue on, man. But not unknowingly, the Lord's going to come like a thief in the night. When they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come, man. So that sword is going to take pretty much the sinners, man. That say that nothing's going to overtake us or prevent us, you know. So they coming in that unbelieving spirit, man. Psalms 49 and 11. Inwardly in their heart, they believe. Inwardly in their heart, they believe they'll continue on from generation to generation. That's relating to the ones in power, but that's also, you can equate that with 2/3, man, because they believe inwardly in their heart that this kingdom is going to continue on and on forever and ever, man, and nothing is going to change that. Hebrews 10 and 38. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the Lord, man. Being judged by the Lord. So let me get it. Hebrews 10 and 38. Hebrews 10 and 38. Or Shalakia, not Hebrews 10 and 38. Hebrews 10 and 31, Shalakia. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God, man. So yeah, it's going to be a fearful thing. And I'll go a few verses down. Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him, man. So, but the point is, it's going to be a day that's not going to be good, man. And it's talking about for 2/3 specifically, and this is just a few verses relating to trusting in Egypt. You know, 2/3 of our people, other nations, but specifically. They trust in Egypt, man. they look into Egypt, man. So that's going to be their shame and confusion, man. And relate especially with the things that's going on, right now. And relating to certain things that have to be done, precursively done, relating to, from a medical aspect, the waters, So they trusting in that heavily, believing the pseudoscience of the philosophies, the doctrine and precepts of the men of power. Men's of power of this world, man. So that's going to be their shame and confusion. This was something short. I hope it helps whoever listens. Give all praise to Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Shalom.